Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab. What I do for you? Got a nice little lesson to piggyback off the Ra, the sun god Ra. But now we're gonna go more into the title is the mysteries of Anu. Anu the first time. Okay, let's go. Writism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. Message and story for life. I give life lessons. I give it to you from the book. That's what we're doing today. But it's all about learning who you are. Know thyself is the goal. I'm trying to get you there. So I'm on my job. Yours is to tune in, put it to use, and you'll be fine. You'll know thyself. Let's go. Right thinkers, right thinking mission. That's what I'm on. Is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinkers way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. That's my mission, that all right thinkers do just that. All right thinkers should be on their grind to do just that also. Know thyself. That's the question. Rhetorical, but if you don't have the answer, stay tuned. I'll help you with that. That's what I do for you. Let's go. A person who knows not and knows not that they even know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them, they're willing to listen and learn. That's why I do what I do. For you, stay tuned. I appreciate you. I got you. A person who knows not, a lot of them, and believe that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. Simple as that. A person who knows, but knows not that they know, is asleep spiritually. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinker, know thyself. And to my eye, be true. I'm back in the book. I'm over here. I'm gonna read a page or two, break down the mysteries of Anu, and give you a breakdown of the scarab concept. And we're gonna be doing some gods. I'm gonna break some of the gods down. So let's start with this one, the mysteries of Anu. Start with that. Now, the sun and the moon were incorporated into ancient Egyptian worship from what? The most ancient time, meaning the earliest beginning. The moon is symbolically associated with Asar, Aset, and Tahuti. Remember Tahuti, the moon god, he watches over us while Ra is in the underworld. He going to the baboon state and he watches over us. So that's what part he plays. Now, while the sun is symbolically associated with Ra, Ptah, and Amun, the Ra Trinity. Okay? Now, according to the ancient Anuian creation, remember we in Anu. So Anuian is the Anu concept. They got the creation story. This is what we're going to listen to, go by. According to the ancient Anuian creation story, the Supreme Being took the form of the sun, aka let there be light, and that's what it was. And arose out of what? The primeval ocean. That's Ra coming out of the primeval ocean. Remember, undifferentiated possibilities, everything, anything is possible, but because it's in chaos, nothing's really being done. You ever see South Park, when the people get upset, you see them gather around and go rubber, 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 rubber. They complaining, but they're not really doing that or going nowhere. That's the same concept, okay? According to, watch this, according to the one version, Ra arose in his boat along with the Enad, Ennead, Ennead of gods. That's what they call the nine, and the goddesses. According to the Menfer telling story, the supreme being arose in the form of primeval hill, a mound, okay, the Ben, or a piece of solid land in the form of Atum, or Tum or Tem, Tum or Tem. Thus, the Supreme Being who manifests as the rising sun out of the primeval ocean is known to be, known by various names. Again, these are Atum, Atum, Atim, Ra, Tim, Atum, Ra, or Asar, and Ptah. All these is names given to the same person, okay? Same God. Now, Atum is also one of what? The first God symbols to be depicted in human form. Remember, we use the stick, color-coded stick, or like a hockey stick, upside down hockey stick, to signify God, because they didn't have a human form for God. When the sages got together and figured out, then he came up with one. I showed you that in the last lesson, all encompassing, but that's where it comes from. But watch this. The priesthood of Anu developed, here you go, and a what? An elaborate cosmology incorporating the concept of Tim into the creation myth. He's the one that had to sit somewhere. He sat on Tim. He was the first thing out there. Okay. So thereby merging, watch this, human existence with the divine. I told you, spirit along with matter, the yin and the yang, they combine to make a whole. Just what they're trying to explain to you. That's what I get from that. That's why I'm trying to put it to you so you can understand it that way. Watch this. Now, the pyramid text of Pepe II had determined that the company of gods and goddesses of Anu, these were them. You got Tim, Shu, air, Tafnut, water, Geb, earth, Nut, heaven, Asar, first spirit in man, Aset, his counterpart, intuitive wisdom and knowledge, Set, ego, the brother, and Neptet, the twin sister to Aset. She represents mortality, understanding that this physical life is temporary. Don't fall in love with it, but Asar, the spirit, did and caused her, and they had sexual intercourse. Their son is discernment. So you got spirit and mortality. The offspring would be discernment. Spirit and wisdom. The offspring would be Haru. That's us. Okay. You. If you learn my philosophical concepts, manifest them for yourself, you'll be Haru too. Now, in the pyramid text of Pepi II, the following account is given by the emergence of Atum or Tum. Watch this. He was born in the what? New primeval waters. Understand that. This was before the sky came into being, meaning before time and space. Once we start putting elements together, you causing the Big Bang, you causing a reaction, you causing time and space to exist. Watch this. But he was born in the new, in the primeval water, before the sky, before New come into being, before Earth, Gab, came into being, before the two supports came into being, Shu, Tafnu, before the quarrel took place between Set and Haru, the ego and the higher self, before that happened too, they had to come into existence. So all this was going on before all that came into existence, before that fear, which arose on account of what? The eye of Haru existed. Before all of that, you had Tum. Before Shu, Tafna, before the quarrel between Haru and Set. One of the most important teachings, understand this, of the Anuian theology is that if creation is in reality God, composed of God's body, and it will what? Revert back to its original undifferentiated state, the noon, one day. The concept is God's unconscious right now. He's asleep. So he letting his minions, so to speak, his subconscious, us beings, have their way in his dream. When he wake up, everything goes back to conception. So let's understand that. And that means, watch this, that creation is ordinary. Human beings know it as an illusion. A lot of us don't. We think this is real. Once you get third eye open, you start understanding things for what they are. That's my point, trying to get everybody to think that way and understand that's the real deal. Now, it is not an abiding reality. Why? Life is temporary. The spirit is eternal. The spirit is everlasting, but the life in the physical body has an expiration date. That's why. It's called temporary, aka delusion. Rasu, R-A-S-U-I, Rasui, it means dream, fancy, illusions. We're living in a dream, not ours, but the conscious man's dream. all conscious dream. We live in it, we part of it, we have our own identity. Every individual is responsible for themselves. So understand that. Therefore, watch this. Knowing thyself is the goal of every individual in Ra's dream. Therefore, the goal of spirituality is what? Is to wake up from what? This dream to what? Discover that which is real, aka Maya, abiding, endless justice, truth, and reciprocity. She's been started way back then. She's still relevant to this day. I know that because I use it. That's what I'm living on. And watch this. You got the Ra Trinity. Told you before. In the beginning, you got the scarab head, Ra. In the afternoon, you got Ra in his full glory, in his prime. Then you got Ra, the old man, lean over. He getting old. Life goes on. He got old. So the people lost respect for him. He, in turn, sent his daughter, Sekhmet, to deal with them. His right eye, Haru, his right eye, which is the destructive part of him. Maya is the right eye. She represents justice, reciprocity, everything that's good, divinity, and duality. But that other eye represents destruction. It can heal and kill. And he sent her out to take care of all the unrighteous. And again, that concept plays out to this day. You can't tell God's people from Satan's people. You can't tell you can't tell Haru follows the Shimsus from the egoistic followers the self. Egoistic people. Why? Pretty much look the same. It's blurred lines. They done blurred the lines, so it ain't clear cut no more. So they took other measures to single them out. Judgment Day. We check the heart. That's the concept, and that's why they did that. Moving on, a little quick story. Okay, from left to right, you got the scarab head, Capri in the morning, sunrise, the creator. Then you got Ra in the middle, noon. At high noon, he's the sustainer of the day. And then you got Tim, sunset. He's the dissolver of the day. He's the end of things. When he comes in, he going to the west. Why? The day is over. The end of the journey for the sun for that day. Watch this. Cycle of life. Simple. The idea of the primeval ocean, Noon, and the original primeval spirit which engendered life in it occurs in what? Several world myths. I mean, everybody got a story. Everybody got a concept, a creation story, a beginning. And what none of us here. In the beginning, how you know what happened 500,000 years ago? How you know what happened a million years ago? So all conceptual. You choose to believe what you choose. I like to believe what makes sense. If you can explain something to me, break it down where I can follow along, and it makes sense. Okay, I'll bite. But the first time I see a glitch or a misstep, now I'm good. Why? I know it's a problem. So that's the whole concept. If it ain't good, you'll notice. You should be able to discern what's right and what's wrong. So now watch this. The earliest occurrence of the idea of what the primeval waters is found in the Egyptian religion, which predates all other known religions of the world in human history. I don't want to hear about the Babylonians, the Mesopotamians, the Nile. None of them do I want to hear about. Why? Because it's already been understood and known by those who do what they're supposed to do, what it's all about. So I don't have that argument no more. Stated my point in discussion. That's a drop the mic moment. Now, this predynastic 10,000 to 5,500 BCE. We got records. We did this, and even before. But remember, Egypt is the record keeper. Egypt is the home of the library. Egypt kept everything that was done on records in stone. Why? So future generations can have it. That's what we do. Watch this. Now, from 10,000 to 5,000 BCE, you have myths that speaks of a God who was unborn, he's undying, and who was the origin of all things. Now, where did we get that idea from? Who knows all that? Somebody had to conceive it, perceive it, and pass it along. You know how we do. We take a fish story. If fish story start out a goldfish. By the time you get around, you got a full-blown whale, an orca. Okay, so understand that. So it haven't changed. People are people. We're going to attack on. We're going to We're gonna stretch it a little bit. Like my man Bernie put 20 on 10 to make it sound good, make it, get a laugh, whatever it is. But you stretch it a little bit. Lie. Make it simple. Oh, that beating around the bush. Watch this. Now, we had to have this concept come from somewhere. But watch this. Now, this divinity, this deity was what? Unnameable, unfathomable, transcendental, genderless, and without form, although encompassing all forms. Again, how we know all that? If he's all that, how do we know that? Philosophy and concepts, okay, that make stuff that makes sense. That's why. So watch this. Now, this being, watch this, was the God of what? Light. The baddest thing we got that keeps us going is that thing that they said 92 million miles away, but he had the wherewithal to put it in a place where it will serve us perfectly. That's being conscious. That's being all wearing, all wherewithal, knowing. Why? If a fraction of that thing is off, we done. If that sun don't rise or we don't rotate around, if we don't spin and get around that sun, we'll die. So the earth got to constantly move. You know the shark has to keep swimming to stay alive. His body's built for that. He can't stop or he'll die. Simple. So the earth pretty much works on the same premise. You gotta keep going. All right. Rotation of the earth is natural. Okay, here we go. Somebody made that possible. Again, conscious. Now this being was God of light. Now, light which what? Illumines what? All things. Dark is good, but light will make dark run. Where does dark go when light comes? Oh, this is just thoughts and concepts and ideas that I got time to think about. Okay, now watch this. And thus was associated, the God of light illuminates all things, and thus was associated with what? The sun. Without the sun in the sky, we got darkness. We can do nothing. Noon is dark. Ain't no light in noon. That's why he had to create, he had to manifest, he had to become something other than what's already there. Okay, understand that. That's where we got the light from. And associated with the sun, the forms, watch this, of Ra or Tim, and with Haru, which is the spirit, who represents what? That which is up there. Your spirit is the falcon, Haru, for a reason. And set your ego is the four-legged animal for a reason. The devil cannot go to heaven. Simple as that. This is his heaven right here. And he have heaven by he can keep everybody held bound so they don't rise up and get better within themselves, know themselves to go home to their maker. He want to keep you here. Just a concept. But watch this. Now, Tim, Haru, who represents that which is up there. This is why everything is up. That don't mean God is up there. He resides up there. After the physical body's done, the spirit goes up there. That's the concept. So when they use Haru, they know Haru is up there. They say he can fly right into the sun as if like he just went right to the sun. That's how high he can fly. And the sun don't burn his eyes. He can look into it without getting his eye burned. So watch this. So that in essence, the divine. Tim, Atum, Tim, or Tamu is in what? Ancient Egyptian name for the deep and boundless abyss of consciousness from which what? The phenomenal universe was born. We all know that, this concept, Big Bang and whatever. But Capra, or Capri, what? The dung beetle. Why you think they use him as a god for the morning sun rising? Because he's the creator. And watch this. Let me break it down. They need me telling you I can read on. Watch this. I'm tired of teaching. I can just read. Let the book do some lessons. All right. So the dung beetle represents what? The morning sun, which is becoming what? Creating. This form is also associated with what? The young Haru, the son, the Haru Picard, the baby with the lock, or suckling from Isis Chitty. Haru in the what? In the horizon, also known as the Sphinx. Okay. They haven't dated the Sphinx, but they know it go back to at least 10 to 12,000 years. Why? Because that's when we was in the age of Leo, and it matched the heavens. as earth as in heaven, as above, so below. They was mimicking heaven, what they saw in the sky. That's the three temples, three pyramids, also represented by the belt of Orion. Another lesson, but they represent also known as the Sphinx. That's how far back it goes. That's my point. And Ra, watch this, the circle in the dot represents the daytime sun. Ra represents the daytime sun, which sustains creation. Again, without that daytime sun, creation can't exist. So he's the savior. Yeah, all of that. He's God's son. All of that. But to misinterpret it and misunderstand it and misuse it don't get you nothing. That I can guarantee. Watch this. So get knowledge and have understanding. The truth sets you free. Lies don't do nothing but confuse you. Superstitions keep leading you along that same road of nothingness. Okay? Suffering. Okay? The term tum, T-U-M, comes from what? The root T-M to what? Complete. The fullness. Or Tim-M, which means to what? Make an end of. We know it in the Latin, Alpha and Omega, beginning and the end. That's what he's telling you. Okay. But Tim is just using it as the end. Scarab is the beginning, Ra is the middle, Tim is the end. End of the day, watch this. To be made end of. Also, Tim is regarded as what? The evening or setting sun in the western sky. It symbolizes the completion, the end of the journey of who? The sun. His day journey is coming to an end. He's going to the west. He's about to go into the underworld and handle his business. That's what he called in his boys. And watch this. The end of Ra's journey. This is why the initiate, you, right thinkers, wishes to what? Go to the beautiful west. We all going there. The question now is, will you pass the test of Maya when you get there? Watch this. Upon completion of the span of life, when this is over, the burial ground is symbolically placed in the west. The city, the beautiful west, is the what? The abode of Asar and Ra. Asar rests in the underworld forever. He is the king of the underworld. So when this life is over, you pass on to go here. Quick lesson. Nope. Lesson's over. 20 minutes. I'll try to keep it less than that. I got more. I'll be back. You know how this is. I got lessons coming up. It's all about the gods. I'm going to enlighten you to the gods, the aspects of what they represent. Get a better knowledge, better understanding of it. That way, if I give you a tool, show you how to use it, you can use it. I'm giving you raw spiritual knowledge to you, for you to use. I'll be back. I got